Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, we are from PBLAN 603, which title RUE. And this time we will present about our project. And for the first, we will introduce our team. I am Aji as the leader, and our team is Ivory, Rashad, Email, Dion, Ayu, and Pijat. And then our project manager is Mr. Amirul. And we also have another team from class B and night class. And then for the background, what is animation rule? Rule is a silent animation without dialogue that release facial expression, body language, and sound design. And we use SDG number 60 for the negative emotion to implement concept of the seven deadly sins. And we adaptation to dark fantasy genre to animation exhibition at Batam State Polytechnic. And then we have for main aim, mixology conflict to create creative storytelling and emotional events to generate campaign and social reflection to highly moral responsibility and social impact. For the format, we have animation video with 8 minutes, which target age 50 and above. We use animation style 2D and 3D, which generate the fantasy. And then this is our rule. Uh, about the rule, we have some meaning or the concept, like flow refrain, regret for human, and ground and send to refrain become better and endless cycle, and to making for the story. And we have a dramatic premise, real story about burial and friend. We for the meaning, looking for the meaning behind the plant that's grow, and they accidentally found an ancient book in mysterious ruins. And then we have visual reference to visual 2D and 3D, like difference for the painting style. And then we have animation style Bobo Boy with selecting Shingeki no Kyojin and Arcane. And then we have full storyboard from the Nazca and teaser for the our output. And the other side we will explain by email.
Okay, I will explain the mood board and sketch. On this section, we show three main environments: the village, the flower field, and the roof forest. The village is beginning of burial and their friend's life. The flower field is a transition place with emotional meaning, and the roof forest is dark and more mysterious, show the start of conflict. Next, in the hut room board, we aim to depict the living condition of one of the characters. Next, this is mood board from Royal Hall, Workspace, and Underground Prison. The Royal Hall represents power, featuring a grand, spacious, and symmetrical design. The workspace illustrates intellectual pressure and the demon of the system. The underground prison is designed as the place where burial is convenient. Next, the ancient ruin altar. The ancient ruin altar is an important location in the story, visual with ruins, rough texture, and mysterious symbol. Next, the main altar serves as the central point of conflict in the story. Its design is made more dominant than other altars in terms of scale, composition, and lighting. Next, this is mood board and sketch for Seven Lords altar. We have altar word, pride altar, plus altar, gluttony altar, great altar, envy altar, and sloth altar. Seven characters will accompany birth through the story on this altar. Next, this is mood board and sketch from main character is Barael. Barael is a simple character in design working as a woodcutter, which makes him physically strong and allow him to perform such activities. Next. This is mood board and sketch from side character. Barrel has six best friends. They always hang out and the flower field when they were children. We have Altaris, Valenor, Nerifa, Serafe, Averin, dan Lumeris. Next, this is mood board and sketch from Seven Lords. The Seven Lord characters are direct representation of each of the seven deadly sins. Their design are made stronger, more contrast, and tend to be more extreme compared to the main character. We have Lord Word, Lord Pride, Lord Envy, Lord Greed, Lord Lust, Lord Sloth, and Lord Gluttony. Next. Lastly, we have moodboard and sketch for wolf and soldier. Next slide will explain to story.
Okay, taking over this next slide is the concept art of the places that has been explained by the mood boards. For example, this is the RUE village. Specifically, there are specific color palettes on specific things. For example, in the middle area, there is an area for selling things, and there is also a water source. And Barel's shed and of living is by behind this big building by the red color. And furthermore, there is specific coloring of those specific buildings. For example, with the little light blue behind these buildings are little sheds where people live to accentuate the poverty they're going through because of the kingdom. Next slide. Next slide is the underground prison that has been talked about by the court, where Barel is held captive and didn't let go until the next day of the execution. Next slide. For this next slide is Barel's cottage hut, where he lives, which I've mentioned before on the village concept art. Next part is the royal hall, where Barel accompanies one of his friends and his father to a meeting with the kingdom. Next is the concept art of the workspace, where Barel meets one of his friends that works in the kingdom for specifically designing products for the people of the kingdom and to improve life and for the people around. Next one. Next is the flower field that is surrounding the whole village. Next. After the flower field, we have the RUE forest. Next. After the RUE forest, we have the ancient ruins, where after the forest, where they have been chased by wolves, they will find themselves in a place called the ancient ruins. Next. After that, they will be teleported into their altars. For example, this is the wrath altar. Next. We have the pride altar. Next. We have the greed altar. Next. We have the envy altar. Next. We have the sloth altar. Next. We have the gluttony altar. Next. We have the lust altar. Next. And we have the main altar where they all will meet again. Next. For the concept art of the characters themselves, we have Barel, Valenor, and Edwin here, which they are representing of each sins, that is wrath, greed, and also sloth. The tattoo design specifically on them, the placement itself represents their sins. For example, Barel's placement is on his whole arm because mainly he works in physical labor, and also wrath itself manifests in physical harm. Next up is Valenor, which the placement of the tattoos are on the hand, where it means greed, it means taking things, it means taking things for yourself. And the last tattoo is for the back placement, where this character Avern has a lot of things on his back, on his spine, which makes him very much more heavy and represents sloth. Next slide. On the next slide, we have the character Altaris, Neriva, Numeris, and Serape, with their respective tattoos being on the neck, the eyes, the stomach, and the heart, which represents their sins of pride, envy, gluttony, and lust. Next slide. We have the concept art of the lords, which is in Indonesian is Galang Amara, but for now I will be calling them lords. That is Lord Wrath and Lord Sloth. Next. Lord Greed and Lord Pride. Next. And Lord Lust, Lord Gluttony, and Lord Envy. On the end of these adventures, they will fight these people and claim their titles as the Dead Sins. Next up will be on Rashad.
Thank you, Ivory. Okay, for the next slide, for following slides are the results of the 3D models of our environments. And here we have a RUE village, the solid view, material view, and the render view. Next. This is RUE village taken from a different angle. Next. This is a cottage hut. Next. This is underground prison. Next. This is flower field. Next. This is the forest. Next. This is the royal hall. This is the ruins. This is the workplace. And this is the main altar. This is altar of wrath. This is altar of greed. This is altar of pride. This is altar of envy. This is altar of lust. This is altar of gluttony. And finally, this is altar of sloth. And for the next slide, will be explained by Pijar.
Okay, thank you, Rashad. So next, this is the preview of our 3D main character. First, we have Barael. This is the main character. Next. Then next is Valinor, and then Afrin. Next. And then there's also Altaris and Lumeris, Nerifa, and also Serape. Next. Then next is the Lord, which is Red Lord and Great Lord. Next. And then next is Sloth Lord, Pride Lord. Next. And then there's is Envy Lord. Next. And then there's also the Wolf. Next. Okay, so here's the texture and visualization. Since we use Arcane as the texture reference, which use hand paint technique, we try to implement that texture to our character, as you can see from the image. We also use Substance Painter to as the software that are going to be exported to a PBR texture. And then on the right side, there is our environment texture. So for the environment texture, due to its large scale, we use only material nodes such as Voronoi texture that are going to be connected to the normal input. Okay, so next, I'm going to pass it to Ayu.
Okay, this is the main character Barel that is rigged by IG. Using Rigify, there's also addition of custom rig on some the accessories and controlling for the tattoo. The tattoo can be toggled on and off by connecting the value from the material shader to the bond controlling using drivers. Every character will have their own unique tattoo on their body that appears as a mark from the creeping thorns, which is part of the VFX. Next slide. Okay, Rigify will also be used to rig the rest of the characters. Next slide. Okay, model and rigging for this book is built manually by me using Bond constraint, and drivers. Bond works well for the part that need to bend, like the book strap and patch, since its deformation can be controlled through segment count by constraint and handle the functions such as a limiting bond movement and reading transformation, which make the book behave like a real one. And on the top that driver are used to control the opening the book automatically by managing the transformation value. Next slide. Okay, this is the property and asset that have main use in the story. From the top right, the RUE book that will be raised at the altar, especially rune altar, and holds a main purpose throughout the story. Weapon will also be utilized for fight scenes. There is also basket for collecting woods that will be used by Barrel, the main character, and the flower of the bottom right will have a main purpose as a symbol of RUE that will also be apparent of some the environment sets. Okay, next slide will be explained by Dion.
Okay, thank you, Ayu. Okay, for the concept logo, we begin with an extensive mood board and sketching page to establish a strong visual foundation. The final logo mark incorporates organic elements like roots and leaves, which are brought to life through detail compositing and texturing in Blender. Next. Stylish for LRC, we influence our visual style is heavily inspired by the atmospheric storytelling of Attack on Titan and Arcane. Lighting strategy to achieve this, we utilize Blender UV engine. We implement not volume scattering to create subtle fog and a darker, more emotional tone. Consistency by using a single lighting configuration for per scene and load-based color grading workflow. We ensure visual consistency across the entire production. Next. For the VFX and audio production, VFX for the action sequence, we develop custom 3D effect include combat slash smears and speed line to enhance the sense of dynamic motion. Next. Okay. This is a beauty shoot for the teaser. Okay, next. This is a proof of concept. We have successfully produced a beauty shot and teaser concept for the final animation of RUE. Okay, next. Okay, next, Aji.
Oh, okay, everyone. Thank you for the present about our project, and there is all of about our project rule. And thank you for watching. We will finish. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.